Hi there, let's talk about that pain in the butt you've been experiencing, otherwise known as the piriformis. It's a tiny little muscle that can cause a lot of pain and a lot of aggravation. So the piriformis is a muscle that starts at your hip and it goes all the way across the butt region. And I've got a piece of tape here so you can see exactly where I'm talking about. And it crosses over the sciatic nerve. And that's what makes the piriformis such a debilitating injury when you have it, because it's also crossing that nerve. And what happens when it crosses that nerve is that it can cause pain everywhere. So you can feel it in your butt, you can feel it in your hamstring, your calves, you can feel numbness in your feet, you can feel it in your SI joint, your hip flexors. So we're not talking about just one little area. It can really have major effects. So the piriformis does affect a lot of runners, but it also affects a lot of people that have jobs where they sit all day. So a lot of sitting, if you travel a lot, you may be feeling that pain in the butt also, so this would apply to you also. So what we want to do when we have a problem like the piriformis injury is that you have a muscle imbalance. So we want to address that muscle imbalance. So what you have is you have weakness in your glutes, usually, or weakness in your hamstrings, or an SI joint that's out of whack. So those muscles aren't working like they should, so the piriformis has taken over, and it's too small of a muscle to do the job, so it's become aggravated. So we want to calm the piriformis and the external rotators. We want to calm them down. We want to inhibit them, that's number one. We want to lengthen them, number two. And number three, we want to activate them to make them stronger. And in the meantime, those glutes, we want to strengthen them also. So what we're going to do first is inhibition. And I'm going to show you how to do that with the foam roller. This is also called myofascial release. And all you do is sit on it. And I think probably most of you know what this is and how to use it, but I'm just going to demonstrate. To get that piriformis, you want to cross, if you have piriformis on the right side, cross that right leg over and then gently roll. You want to find what I call that sweet spot, that area that you're like, oh yeah, there it is. And just kind of lay on it, relax, try not to be too tense or it's not going to do the job, and then just roll over it nice and easy. And likewise, once you've found that and rolled over a little bit, do the other side. Because more than likely, if you have an injury on one side of your body, it's going to travel to the other side because of compensation. So do both sides. So that's the foam roller, great tool. But if you're like me and it's not really doing the job anymore, I like to use what's called different kind of myofascial release balls. You can use a tennis ball, you can use a lacrosse ball. This is a double ball, and we have some of the gem that are just singles. These really get into the belly of the muscle. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And it's basically the same. You're going to sit on it, a little bit of rotation here. Cross that leg up so we expose that muscle, and then just roll over it. And this one definitely gets in there a little bit deeper. If it's too painful, then by all means, don't do this. Go back to the foam roller. And then also do the other side. If you find that you're feeling any kind of numbing, tingling, sharp shooting pain, I want you to stop, because that could be your sciatic nerve becoming aggravated, and you don't want to do that. The third tool that I have is what's called a massage gun, and it is fantastic for helping to reduce muscle inflammation and relaxing that muscle. This one here has got different adapters. You can use whichever one feels best for you. Different strengths, you turn it on. And what I like about these is that you don't have to roll on it. You just use it yourself. You manipulate it. So if you're watching TV at night, you can cross that leg over and just take that gun and apply it where you need it. And you can apply as much pressure or as little pressure as you need. I used this last fall, and it really, really helped with curing my piriformis. So these are the three tools that I use for inhibition. So after we inhibit that muscle, we've calmed it down, we want to lengthen it, because that muscle becomes tight and short, and that's what's causing your pain. So to lengthen it, we have a couple stretches we like to do. The first one is the piriformis stretch. And you're going to lay on your back. And if the piriformis on the right side is bothering you, you can bring that right leg up, cross that knee to the opposing shoulder, take your left hand at your ankle and pull it up. So you're crossing it over diagonally and pulling it upward. You want to hold this stretch for about 15 to 30 seconds. Put that leg down, stretch it out, and then do it again. Pull it up, hold. Stretch it out, and then keep doing it, I would say, 5, 6, 7 times, however many times you feel is necessary until you feel it loosening up. Likewise, do the other side, just to keep everything nice and symmetrical. After you've done that exercise or that stretch, I like for you to do the hip flexor stretch, because during the piriformis stretch, the hip flexor becomes compressed a little bit. So this is the hip flexor stretch. I'm just going to lean forward. And as you can tell, I'm stretching out that opposing muscle group of the piriformis. So we stretch this out, now we're stretching the front. And obviously, you're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Again, most stretches, 30 seconds if you can. A lot of people only want to hold them for 10 seconds, but that's really not giving you enough time to get that stretch. The next stretch that I like to do is called the pigeon pose. You're going to come into a straight arm plank. You're going to be on your toes, and you're going to bring that right leg up. And hopefully you can see there my legs, see how it is. Bringing it right up. For some people this is hard to do, so ease into it gently. You want your hips square to the floor. You don't want to be rotating out like that. And then if you want to go a little deeper stretch, then you walk it all the way down. If you can't do that, that's okay. You can stay up. Again, 30 seconds. Go back, and since we want to do the other side, we'll do the other side, and it feels really good. I recommend doing this even if you don't have any injuries, because this just is a great stretch. So that's the second stretch. So we've inhibited the muscle, then we lengthen it, now we want to activate it. I will say this, if you are in a state where your piriformis or any muscle group is really aggravated, sore, don't try to activate it yet. Let it calm down, and you may just want to stick with the first 2 steps, which is inhibit it, calm it down, and lengthen it. You may want to do that for a couple weeks. Then when you feel like it's not as painful, then we can start going toward activation. So this first exercise I'm going to show you, and the only exercise today I'm going to show you, is going to strengthen those external rotators. You need a band. This is like a medium resistance. And you are not going to see my face, that's okay. You don't need to. You're going to wrap that around your ankles. And then what you're going to do is you're going to start with your legs shoulder width apart, toes pointing forward. You're going to step out to the right, bring that left leg in just a little bit, not all the way, and then just keep going like this. All the way to the right, and then all the way to the left. You don't want to point your toes out. If you do, then you're not engaging the right muscle group. So to the right. Very good. And then to the left. I guarantee you're going to feel this. And I want you to always pay attention to your feet, toes pointing forward. If they go out, that's going to tell you you've got a weakness. You're really going to have to fight that urge, and you have to keep them straight forward. I would recommend 8 to 10 steps to the right, 8 to 10 steps to the left, 2 to 3 sets of those, and you're really going to feel those muscles getting stronger. That's the only exercise I'm going to show you for activation today, because there are so many exercises to strengthen those external rotators that it requires a whole new video. So I will come back next time with about 5 or 6 exercises that we can add to that library and make those external rotators a lot stronger. So start with your inhibition, your lengthening, your activation, and then hopefully you're going to feel better. See you next time.